Hello, and thank you all so much for joining me today. Today we are doing the Taurus TarotScope for November 2019. We are going to be using the Spirit Keepers Tarot Vitruvian Edition by Mademoiselle Lynna. I absolutely love these cards. They are so amazing. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started by clearing out any negative energy that may be existing. Some powder here. Okay, so Taurus for November 2019. Okay, Spirit, what do you have for Taurus for November? Any guidance, any messages? What do you have for Taurus? Okay, now we will look for the significator card for Taurus. And there we go. So Taurus, it looks like for the month of November, your focus is going to be on personal economics, property, money matters, material resources, assets, and liabilities. So we're going to be talking about your personal money. So let's go ahead and see what Spirit is trying to tell us. Okay. And our first card is the Journeyman. The Journeyman is the spirit of apprenticeship, of perfecting one's craft, of routine work that leads to mastery. This is also the spirit of prudence. When the Journeyman appears to you, you are being called to apply discipline, a strong work ethic, and perseverance to hone your skills in a particular trade. The Journeyman is the grind of dedicated work, practice, and careful methodical study of a specialized craft. Note the herbs set into a master's staff. This is prophetic of an adept who is currently an apprentice, but who will someday exceed the master. It has been foretold. You will become the warrior, or the erudite, or perhaps it is the healer. One of these three paths manifested. That is the prophecy of the Journeyman. Even magic and genius requires toil, determination, and hard work. Behind the Journeyman and into the dark woods, can you see the forest through the trees? When the Journeyman appears to you, look again at your surroundings. Can you discern the holistic pattern from the details? Try to understand the bigger picture. The Eight of Orbs expresses the perfecting of your craft and being methodical in the ways you hone your skills. You possess a natural talent already. Now you need to train yourself so that you can take that talent to heightened levels of productivity and success. In medieval trade, the Journeyman is the rank of a craftsman between new apprentice and master. You've already established a proficiency for your craft, but you have not peaked yet. Stay humble, modest, methodical, and continue to work hard. Then the day will come when you far exceed many masters. Do not rest on the promises made by destiny. Determine the future for yourself and labor in every way necessary to craft that outcome. Card number 2, the Hector. A left-handed swordsman with a human body and bull's head, an introverted ankh between his eyes, has attained and now possesses 5 swords, wielding one in the swordsman's left hand, 3 at his feet, and 1 erect, stabbed into the ground. Behind the swordsman, 2 figures defeated and lamenting. An unfair advantage is commonly implied in the 5 of Swords, and while the scene depicted here would suggest that the swordsman has an unfair advantage of strength and skill over his opponents, he is left-handed, and so, in fact, from his start was in a position of disadvantage which he overcame. There is an emotional brutality conveyed here, but let's dig deeper to uncover where that brutality comes from. When the Hector appears in a reading, one's bitterness, pessimistic attitude towards society or human relationships, and distrust of others comes from having been burned badly in the past. Either seize the upper hand or someone will unscrupulously seize the upper hand over you. At least that is the attitude through which you're operating, and yet may the seeker pay heed at the cost. When you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That is the fate of every Hector. Twin pillars in the background serve as a portal that leads into another realm, one where the skies are bright and the sun shines. In contrast to the dark skies and storm clouds of the current scene, there is still a way out of this. It's not too late. There is also a symbolic omen for the matter at hand. It's better to walk away from the conflict. The sun here also resembles an 8-petal flower blossom in the wheel of the Ogdode, signifying the primordial spirits watching over this moment, in anticipation of how you will approach your next move based on your present position. Here, the barren lands is dry and parched to express a scorched earth. The spirit of the Hector appears to you now to let you know you do not have to become him. You still have the option to choose a different fate for yourself. Hence the portal in the back leading to the sun and reminiscent of the initiate card of this deck. There is a reference to Hector, the greatest warrior of ancient Troy, and an heir apparent. But the spirit of Hector could in certain instances also be the spirit of a bully, one who torments others and domineers over them. This is the spirit of indomitable strength at any cost. Permithos, Patroclus, disguises himself in Achilles' armor and charges at Hector. Hector defeats Patroclus, kills him, strips him of Achilles' armor, and puts it on himself. The gods punish the insolence, and soon after, Achilles, with the aid of Athena, defeats Hector. When the Hector appears to you in a divinatory reading such as this, the message is a mirror reflection of what will happen if you embody the Hector. The spirit is here to remind you that you do not need to prove the full force of your strength to others. Do not let your pride get the better of you. In craft, the Hector can be called upon to expedite karmic repercussions to one who embodies the life philosophy. Live by the sword, die by the sword. This is the card used to teach a lesson to a bully. When you are being bullied, call upon the Hector to deal with your bully. Card number 3, the Conservator. A human figure with a goat's head, embodying Capricornus, sits upon an unseen throne. The figure also calls to mind Baphomet, or the sabbatic goat, symbolizing the sum total of the knowledge availed in this universe and the materialized product of astral light. We also see an association to Pan, and thus, here in the suit of orbs, in the realm of fours, we see the product of created nature. The Conservator is the maintenance, work, investments, and natural resources needed in reign, rule, and order. This is the spirit presented in your life path when you are demonstrating an inordinate attachment to the material. This is earthly power you are clinging desperately to, at the expense of greater spiritual realization. The Conservator is both the spirit of that which is empirical and orderly, efficient and pragmatic, and also that which is self-serving, covetous, and parsimonious. Here we also see the horned god. Card number 4, the Warrior. Key 19, the son of the Magi, signifies competence and reciprocity. This is the primordial spirit of dazzling light. Here we see your consciousness expanding. We are predisposed to seeking out competence, the mastery of knowledge, skill, and to possess qualification, and also reciprocity, for there to be mutual exchange in our social interactions. The spirit who has appeared before you in Key 19 is the bringer of dawn. The armor she wears is made of dragon skin. In both ancient Eastern and Western lore, the skin of a dragon produces the most impenetrable armor. Thus, in the warrior, we have the indomitable spirit. The master of the mystic light appears to you when you are on the verge of confronting potential with reason and truth, through which you shall create goodness. Goodness is creation with purpose arrived at through reason and truth. Liberatus perfundet omnia luz is inscribed upon the warrior's right gauntlet or armored glove. Freedom will flood all things with light. The warrior's mission is to ensure that all may live with dignity and be self-governing. The son of the Magi is personal sovereignty that radiates out as manifested contributions to the world. Here is victory in the battles you've fought for your own independence of mind, body, and soul. You've broken all the chains. You've detached yourself from that which had tried to control your will, and now your light shines freely out into the world. The warrior is also the spirit of fighting to protect others, fighting in service. This is success and glory you achieve not for yourself, but so that you can be in the empowered position to help others thrive and grow. Once you are delivered into freedom, you bear the responsibility to deliver others to the same. The warrior is the spirit beckoning to you to vow a life in service of others, to always strive for personal greatness, and to live by your own honor code. This is the spirit of heroic acts. Inscribed upon the warrior's other glove, Laetitia lus vestra, let your light shine. You are now liberated and triumphant. This is the key of expanded consciousness, the sun, charged with the rose, the budding of solar influence, with Aries rising in the east. The sun, a mystic rose, illuminates at the zenith point of the skies. Inscribed in the three petals from the top clockwise, Aleph, Mem, Shin, in the Proto-Canaanite alphabet for the three mother letters. The ring of 7 petals bears the symbolism of the sacred 7 planets, also for the 7 metals of antiquity and the 7 double letters. The outer ring of 12 bears the symbolism for the 12 zodiac signs. Within the sun, an amber luminescent bears a cross for the 4 directions and rose. The 3-tiered rose as the sun is emblematic of the philosopher's stone, but more than that, it designates full blossom, achievement of the great work. The emanating rays of sunlight feature the cubic stone, in reference to the Masonic stone of foundation. When Thoth resurrects Horus, he uses the fluids of life siphoned from Ra, the Egyptian god of the sun. Those fluids of life are now used to cast the cubic stones for the construction of your inner temple. When the warrior appears to you, success is imminent. Glory comes. Card number 5. The Demerge. The Demerge builds our physical platform of success. This is the attending spirit who guides your intangible idea into tangible work product in the material world. The Demerge marks progress, achievement attained, and is the spirit present with you through a momentous rite of passage. The Demerge is the spirit to help you cull from the spiritual or intellectual plane and bring perfected work into form on the physical plane. 2 women hold up the seal of the Demerge, the tool with which the architect of the universe has created this world. The woman on the left is a maiden nurse in white with rosary or mala prayer beads around her neck. The other is an archer, symbolic of God's infantry. Archers on battlefields instigate the action and are at the front lines. Together, they personify the cycles of creation and destruction, of peace and strife. In the background, a manorial fortress symbolizes stability and establishment. And our final card is the Sharpshooter. Swift movement abounds you. This is the spirit of marksmanship. When the Eight of Scepters appears, it bears notice to pay attention to messages being directed at you coming from your world. For Spirit is presenting itself through the words of those speaking to you. Momentous words coming at you within the next 8 days are the spoken words of Spirit. The Eight of Scepters is the spirit of inbound tidings that bear your name. When the sharpshooter appears in a spread, pay attention to what she is aiming and shooting at in the context of the spread's landscape. What she points at is what Spirit is directing you to pay attention to. The sharpshooter might be appearing to you as a protege of Anat, an old Canaanite maiden goddess of war. She might also be a messenger from Artemis. Perhaps she is a priestess daughter of Minerva or Pallas Athena. The sharpshooter in the Eight of Scepters is a spirit oft called upon to be an emissary into our world to deliver messages from a divine feminine embodying courage, wisdom, military strategy, war and battles, or a patron goddess of the arts. When the sharpshooter appears to you, such a divine consciousness is calling to you. Okay, Taurus, let's talk about your money. You're doing good. You really are. You've come a long way, and you still have just a little bit further to go, but you're going to get there. You just need to keep working steady and stay on task. Don't try to bully your way in or act like you're top dog, like your shit doesn't stink. Don't do that. Your time is coming. Right now, make a budget. Make a budget and a savings plan. Both. Hold on to your money. Break it down to your necessities. What bills do you owe? Divide it up into 50. How much is that per year? Divide that by 52 weeks. Put a little bit back each week for each bill. And that way when the bill comes due, you'll have the money. No problem. They already said that you're going to be successful. Now's the time for you to get stable. Put roots down. Like I said, make a budget, make a savings plan. Get stable. Your shit's going to come in fast. You need to be ready, okay? You're not going to have to wait that long, so don't try to bully your way in. That's only going to cause disruption. We don't need any conflict, okay? You've got this. I hope that today's message has resonated with you and will help lead you and guide you throughout the month of November. If you would like a more personal and in-depth reading, please go over to my website at www.conjureknits.com. I offer phone sessions, video readings, and chat readings. Just click on one of the links at the top of the page. Oh, and while you're there, click on the Stay Informed link and sign up for my newsletter. We have lots of goodies for you. I hope to talk to you all soon and a very, very blessed November. Love you bunches.